Hi, everyone. So thank you for joining us to watch this quick video. I'm joined here by my friend Mary from Trafalgar, and Leslie and I wanted to do a trip to Japan, and I found this itinerary and I really loved it. So this is the one we're going to do for next September, and I asked Mary to come on to do a quick little briefing about what the itinerary looks like and some of the experiences that we'll have on this trip to Japan, and maybe you'll consider joining us. So I'm going to pass it on to my friend Mary to take you through her slides.
Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Mary Lee, and I'm excited to share classic Japan with you from Trafalgar. And this is where Konnichiwa. Let's go ahead and get started as we go through classic Japan, which is essentially a tale of, let's say, 4 iconic cities and 2 former capitals, where your epic journey through Japan blends pretty much old and new. So with very memorable visits to both ancient and modern destinations. Day 1, Konnichiwa. And this is where I will go quickly over all the days here. Let's see if I can. Oh, okay. Tokyo's futuristic cityscape launches your journey through Japan's modern centers and ancient capitals. On arrival at either of those airports in Tokyo, Narita or Haneda Airport, you'll be transferred by airport shuttle to your hotel. This evening, meet your travel director and fellow travelers for a welcome reception drink with appetizers, where you'll be staying at the new Otani Garden Tower. Day 2, this is where you're going to rub shoulders with locals this morning as you dive into culture. Trafalgar, we really pride ourselves on what we call these insider experiences, and dive into culture is one of those experiences. So think of that as pretty much where you'll meet the local people, right? You'll really get better insight into, in this case, the Japanese culture. And we're going to wander through the Amiyoko Street Market, which was once a black market selling American goods after World War II. We'll then continue to the old-time entertainment center of Akasu, sorry, my Japanese is, to visit the Sensoji Buddhist temple, which has been rebuilt countless times since its founding in 628 AD. So this makes it Tokyo's oldest temple site. We'll take a stroll down Nakamichi shopping street with some free time for lunch. Then we'll join a local specialist. So local specialist here, right, helping to bring everything to life and local. This is where we get that insider experience and knowledge. So we'll learn the mesmerizing rhythmic art of taiko drumming, one of Japan's most popular cultural icons. We'll then board a cruise along the Sumida River to admire Tokyo's modern skyline, the traditional neighborhoods of Old Edo and beautiful Hamariku Garden. Later, return to your hotel for time at leisure and dinner at a sumo-themed izakaya restaurant, and still staying there at the new Otani Garden Tower. Day 3, look at how beautiful Mount Fuji looks there. So this is where the towering slopes of snow-capped Mount Fuji looms in the distance as we journey from Tokyo to this celebrated UNESCO-listed site. Admiring the spectacular views of the surrounding countryside from its 5th station, a magnificent vantage point, 2,300 meters. That roughly translates to, I have that written down, 7,500 feet. So 7,500 feet, weather permitting. After lunch at a local restaurant, we'll continue to Owakudani to see the volcanic activity. And you might consider sampling. Remember, this is where it's outside of your comfort zone, right? So might consider sampling the local black eggs boiled in geysers, then head back to the hotel for an evening at leisure. Optional experiences, you might consider taking these optional experiences, and in this case, the Tokyo Illuminations and Izakaya dining experience, where the sun sets, starting the evening with a drive past the classic Tokyo Tower to see its colorful illuminations, and continuing on to the Roppongi Hills and a visit to Tokyo City View with its indoor and rooftop sky deck observation decks for magnificent views of the city at night. So later joining in for a different kind of Japanese dining experience, maybe not so bold, right, as local black eggs, but this is where in an izakaya, a casual Japanese pub, where the food is shared by everyone at the table. So this is where very similar to Spanish tapas. The menu is seasonal and generally includes meat and vegetarian Japanese appetizers, sashimi, tempura, grilled chicken, steamed fish, and miso soup, followed by dessert. Sounds delicious. 1 glass of wine, beer, or soft drink also included, and the price shown there in Japanese yen. Continuing on, day 4 to Kyoto. So we'll leave Tokyo traveling by high-speed bullet train to Kyoto. That'll be fun there. Another former capital of Japan and the center of Japanese culture for centuries. Here you see the beautiful, right, geishas. One of my favorite books, Memoirs of a Geisha. If you haven't seen that movie or book, I highly recommend it. On arrival, we'll embark on a walking tour of the Gion district, embracing the energy of Kawaramachi Street. Enjoy some free time before we head to the UNESCO-listed Kinkakuji Temple, whose glittering golden pavilion is widely regarded as the symbol of Kyoto, and staying at the Nikko Princess Hotel. Day 5, this is your Discover Enchanting Kyoto Day. So after a late start this morning, we'll visit one of Kyoto's highlights, the historic and scenic district of Arashiyama. Renowned for its cherry blossom trees, pretty much one of those iconic, right, photos that you're gonna take, which bloom in the springtime, and its beautiful landscapes that change dramatically from season to season. Enjoying a leisurely walk through the towering bamboo groves and see its iconic Togetsuchiko Bridge, connect with nature in the Zen gardens at the Tenryuji Temple, then return to Kyoto for some free time at the Nishiki Market, which is a traditional food market known by locals as Kyoto's Pantry. So return to your hotel or consider joining in an optional Japanese tea ceremony experience because, come on, you're in Japan, right? Tea ceremony experience. So that is an optional experience where you'll experience the ambiance of a traditional Japanese tea ceremony with a professional tea master who will have spent many years learning his craft, which is often presented in a ceremony influenced by Zen Buddhism. You'll learn about the history and culture of tea making in Japan and observe how the powdered green tea, matcha, is prepared by adding boiling water and mixing it with a bamboo whisk. There will also be an explanation on the Japanese way of making and drinking tea. Take the opportunity to try some Japanese sweets, and afterwards, having observed the skill involved in making the tea, have a go at making your own. Once again, price shown in Japanese yen. Day 6, admiring ancient Nara. So starting the day off with a visit to Sumiyama village and discover the stunning Kiyomitsu pottery, which originated about 500 years ago in central Kyoto. Learn about the work of the craftsmen and about how they had to move out of the city and into a more rural area due to the concerns from the local citizens about air pollution. Next, connect with locals over a Be My Guest lunch. So this is another Trafalgar experience where connecting with locals. So this is where, once again, we want you to have that authentic local insider experience. So this is a Be My Guest lunch with a local farmer at his home where you truly will be a guest. He is your host. And these are experiences that you would never get on your own, only if you take this trip. So gaining insights into the life of this family while sampling fresh tea and indulging in a delicious homemade meal, then visit his tea plantation. This afternoon, delve into the ancient history of Nara, the first permanent capital city of Japan. Here you'll visit the landmark Todachi Temple, one of the powerful 7 great temples, and home to one of Japan's largest bronze statues of Buddha. Take a stroll around Nara Park, home to hundreds of freely roaming tame deer. Maybe you've seen photos of that, very iconic of Nara, before returning to Kyoto for an evening at leisure. Day 7, gosh, so many iconic photos. I know I keep saying the word iconic, but I think a lot of us might have seen this photo here. This morning, we board a high-speed bullet train to Hiroshima, a lively city that celebrates peace in the shadow of the previous century's devastation. Our first stop is to a local restaurant where you'll join our local specialist for okonomiyaki making experience. That is a really delicious, right? Make your own savory pancake and cook it on a hot plate before enjoying your creation for lunch. This afternoon, take the ferry to Miyajima Island to visit the famous UNESCO-listed Tsukishima Shrine and elaborate Torii Gate. And that's what you're seeing there, the Torii Gate, rising majestically out of the sea. Learn how to make momiji manju, one of the local specialties, and that is shaping your steamed bun in the shape of a maple leaf and filling it with sweet red bean paste. So momiji, that means pretty much autumn leaves, and manju is the red beans. You'll have an opportunity to sample your work before returning to Hiroshima by ferry and staying at the Riga Royal Hotel. Day 8. This is the morning where you'll head to the Peace Memorial Park and Museum and see the UNESCO listed Peace Memorial, the only structure left standing when the first atomic bomb exploded in 1945. Take a moment to contemplate its symbolic expression of hope for world peace and spend the afternoon at leisure or consider joining an optional experience. And the optional experience here is visiting Shukien Garden, an Edo-style historic Japanese garden located in the center, right, of Hiroshima. Enjoy the peaceful atmosphere and take a stroll around the gardens, which are beautifully laid out with paths that meander around a lake with bridges and small islands. Later, visit Orizuru Tower, named after the folded paper crane bird, and it's a symbol of peace. And you might have seen that crane bird. It's very popular in origami. Oh, we'll talk about origami here. So ascending to the rooftop observation deck for panoramic views of Hiroshima City, and on a clear day, see as far as Miyajima Island. And during your visit, learn about the changes, right, of the townscape before and after the bombing, and also learning how to make that traditional origami crane. And there's the price there, Japanese yen. Onwards to Osaka. So taking that high-speed bullet train to Osaka, and on arrival, embarking on an orientation drive of the city before checking into your hotel. And then this is where you have a rest of the afternoon and evening at leisure, which lots to see and do there, and probably very welcome, right? To have some downtime, so staying at the Sheraton Miyako. Day 10, this is your Osaka days, gaining a different perspective of Osaka's landmark city sites, starting your day with a cruise on the Aqua Bus along the Okawa River. You'll sail past the Japan Mint, City Hall, Nakunishima, and Osaka Castle, one of Japan's most famous landmarks. You'll visit the downtown district of Shinsekai to see this word is really hard. I know I'm not saying it correctly at all, but it's like Tsutoku Tower, okay? Then continuing on to the Totonbori Street area for some time at leisure. You'll delve into the star-crossed love story of Ohatsu and Tokubai during your visit to the Sutoten Shrine in Umida, associated with the Edo period play, The Love Suicides of Sonezakai, which tells of the tragic double suicide that took place at the shrine in 1703. To this day, visitors write their prayers for success in love on special wooden plaques called ima, many of which bear the image of Ohatsu and Tokubai. Admire the panoramic views of Osaka from the floating garden observatory, an open-air viewing platform that straddles the two towers of the Omida Sky Building. Later, you'll join your fellow guests and travel director for a farewell dinner in a local restaurant. 10 days, just like that. In day 11, your journal revealing Japan's past and present comes to an end, and you'll take your transfer by airport shuttle service to Kansai International Airport or Osaka Atami Airport for your onward flight. Here you can see the weather around fall looks pretty perfect to me, right? 82 high, 70 low. September, look at the beautiful autumn colors there. So just a fantastic time to go. Not too hot, not too cold. And this is where, if you book by June 18th, you'll get $100 off per traveler. So what are you waiting for? Don't you want to get to Japan, eat some sushi, learn more about the history, try to catch a glimpse of a geisha? I'm excited for you and your group. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out. But for now, I am excited as we look at this. Trafalgar is all about the good life.
Thank you, Mary. I'm excited about this trip. A few things that I liked about it is it's all by bullet train, so there's no motor coach, there's no buses involved in terms of between the cities. We might have a bus while we're within the city, but it's a high-speed bullet train, which is something we don't really have here in the United States. So that's kind of cool.
Yes,
And I really am drawn to the special experiences, those unique Be My Guest, and being able to interact with the locals and find out about their culture, their food, their society, and not just staring at buildings and museums. So I love the interactive nature of this. This will be a small group. I think the total maximum group size is about 24 people
wow,
to
that's
30 people.
perfect. Yep,
So it's a small group. Within our group of people going, we're probably going to have somewhere between 12 and 16 of us as part of our Expedia group going. And the dates, I don't know if we mentioned the date. The date is September 20th through the 30th of 2024. So you have over a year to plan and prepare for this trip. The deposit is $350 per person. And if you do make the deposit and get the trip booked within the next 10 days of us recording this, so between now and June 18th, you get $100 off per person for booking early. And then Leslie and I will help you with getting your flights arranged. If you decide you want to fly into Tokyo a couple days early to get acclimated to the new time zone and get over jet lag, we can do that and add some additional days. Leslie and I are actually thinking about maybe going to Tokyo Disney for a day before the official programming starts. So that's an option for you as well. So thank you for tuning in and watching this video. Thank you, Mary, for being brave and pronouncing all those Japanese words that I would butcher. But I
oh,
hope you can start joining us on this trip next September.
I butchered them as well.
Okay, thanks, Mary. Thanks everyone
Thank
for
you,
watching.
bye-bye, cheers.